Hello and a warm welcome to Living the Dream, Women, Work and Relocation. On this podcast, we usually meet women who chose the south of France as their second chapter. Today's guest did the opposite. She left France entirely. But to understand why she left and what it took to build the life she has today, you first have to understand where she started.
Thank you so much, Cécile, for this opportunity. I really appreciate your time and also your care because, this story is for me, it's my life. So I'm so happy to share with you, and it's going to be really emotional. But, this is also the goal, to help people to understand what it takes to get at the point where I am today.
Delphine grew up in a small town in northern France, population 10,000. The kind of place where, as she puts it, people do the same thing generation after generation. She was the youngest of 8 children. Her father worked in construction. Her mother stayed home. They didn't own a car. Holidays, let alone going abroad, were not part of the picture. But Delphine was tall, noticeably so, and people around her began to say it. You should model. Her grandmother kept mail-order catalogues, the kind that arrived by post and were lifted through like small windows onto another world. Somewhere in those pages, without quite knowing it yet, something registered. At 15, she heard about a modeling agency in Lille. She took the bus. They were interested, but they needed a portfolio. 800 francs, around 130 euros. For a working-class family of 10, that was not a small sum. It was, in fact, an impossible one. She had no one to ask, and then, unexpectedly, she did. The most renowned photographer in the region had seen something in her. He made her portfolio for free. She would repay him with her work when the jobs came in. And 25 years of international modeling followed. 30 years later, at 45, Delphine went back to that same photographer. Same location, same framing, a before and after, 15 and 45, to honor the man who had been her first believer. That is the pattern you need to hold on to as you listen to this episode. Not the success, the pattern. A door that seemed closed, someone who appeared at exactly the right moment, and Delphine, who never once stopped knocking. This is her story. For the next 25 years, Delphine built a life that by any measure was a success, an international modeling career, a partner of 17 years, a dream house she had spent 6 years building, a little dog Bounty she adored, comfort, stability, belonging. And then, at 33, her grandmother died. The woman who had kept those catalogues, the woman who had, without knowing it, planted the first seed, and in losing her, Delphine lost something harder to name, the sense that the life she had built was enough.
I'm from France, north of France, like a small town where we are like 10,000 people. We do the same thing generation after generation. I'm from a family of 8. I'm the last one of 8, and all of them still in north and, doing the same thing. And, they love what they're doing, so it's great. And every time I go there, we are family. So this is, but for me, he also just remember me like where I'm from. So keep me grounded, and at the same time, I don't want to be there anymore because it's the same thing. It's a comfort zone. So this is pretty nice. So 36, this is when I live fully in America. But let's go back to 33. When my grandma passed, I realized my gosh, what's going to happen now? All my routine, I went to see her every day. I had my dream house because for 25 years I was model, international model, working from all over the world, photo shoot for the big brand. It was really successful. I had a partner for 17 years, the best man ever, and anyway, it was just, for me, the best life. And then when something dramatic happened to you, it was like, your world just collapses. And you're like, what is the point of this life? To have this big house. It was really the house of my dream. I built for 6 years. My relationship for 17 years. My little dogs, for 8 years. I had everything. And this beautiful career that I had for 25 years. And then everything collapsed after this event and was like, one day I went to work on the same studio on a photo shoot. I came back and I had a realization, and I told my partner at the time, I said, I have to leave, with or without you, but I need to leave.
She had been to Miami once in 2007 for a photo shoot. She had never forgotten it. The colors, the light, the sense that another version of her life was possible there. Her partner tried. He came for 2 months. He decided not to follow the adventure. Delphine packed 2 suitcases. She sold her house. She gave away everything else. And she left.
So my partner came 2 months and then he decided not to follow the adventure. It was a big decision, a really big decision. So when I left France with 2 suitcases only, I sold and gave away everything. And I wanted to start everything from fresh. So I did rent this little room in an apartment, and was not really fancy or great, but to start, it's always, I say, why not? Let's start fresh. So I come back with my 2 suitcases and I was like, whoa. Oh yeah, it was a challenge. Emotionally, it's a challenge because you're by yourself. All these things, it's gone. Your little dog is not with you. Your partner who was like you support for 17 years is not here anymore. Just a big challenge. But you have to be strong and say, it's gonna happen. You can do it. So this is the word that I told myself, you can do it.
Arriving in a country with 2 suitcases and a plan is one thing. Making that plan work is another entirely. Delphine was 36. In the modeling industry, that is not young. She had a 25-year career behind her that meant nothing here because nobody knew her. She had savings, but they were finite. And she needed a visa sponsor, one agency willing to put their name behind a French woman who didn't fit the profile, whose English was still finding its footing, and who was, as more than one person told her, a little too old and a little too much.
At the age of 36, you're not 16 anymore, you don't have a career of like 20 years, so I was not skinny, I was never skinny. I love cookies. But to be model, you have to be like this, strong mindset, not be sensitive because you know all about you. Sometimes they say you look great, but usually there is always something wrong with you. It's never the clothes or it's never the makeup. It's always about your face. You have your eyes droopy. You have like a long arms, everything, but it's okay. It makes me also stronger. And today also I can feel, you can tell me something I'm gonna laugh about because I know already. For 25 years, you heard so much. So when you go there and you have your career for 25 years in France, you go back to something that you don't know. You're leaving like everything, your comfort zone, where your people know you for 25 years, to another country, and you have to adapt, you have to adjust everything. Even my language, right? I still have a strong accent, as you can hear. But when you go to another country, some people will make an effort to understand you and some not. So you can feel like shy. So I decided to go back to school. Every night after casting, after job, I went to school from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. And for more than a year, to improve. And I did it, but I think the most improvement was the experience, and just you have to do it, you have to try it, don't be shy, and just talk. And you're gonna make mistakes, people are gonna make laugh of you about your mistake or your accent, but believe it or not, they always say like, French accent is sexy. I didn't believe at the beginning, I was like, it sounds awful in my ear. But after like a while, I say, oh, maybe, it's true. So you talk more and you talk more. You're still doing mistake, like in life, but just do it and try again. So when I went there, so the visa one, I just come back, the visa one was really, really hard to have it. You get a lawyer who helps you to get all this paper, the parish, like all these things, the parution, the client recommendation, everything. And so you got your sponsor after like days and days of like meeting agency. Oh no, she's not the right profile. Oh no, 36 is too old. Oh no, I think she cannot do lingerie. She's a little bit too, too much hips. Oh no, there is always something.
Agency after agency, wrong profile. No, too old. And then one said yes. But the person who had agreed to sponsor her left the agency before the paperwork was signed. The new director didn't know her. She hung up the phone. Delphine was, as she puts it, destroyed.
Only once gave me my chance. So I said, yeah, let's do it. You pay the lawyer and you're like, okay, finally, in 8 months I will be there, so for the season. And then, so everything is there and you realize when your lawyer calls you, say, hey, I didn't hear from your sponsor, what's going on? So I'm going to contact her, she's maybe in vacation. No, it's been a few weeks now, she doesn't reply. So I call it and the agency, the director told me, she doesn't work here anymore. The one who gave me my sponsorship, she doesn't work here anymore. And I was like, but she gave me, everything to like, that's why I start the process with the lawyer that I pay a lot of money to get this visa. She said, but she's not here anymore. I don't know you, I never saw you, so I'm not going to sponsor someone that I don't know. I will always remember her word. Always, and I know her name, but I'm not going to say her name, even if I would love to. And I said, but I was in France at the time. And she said, so I was telling her, I can fly back just to meet you and get this sponsorship going because my lawyer just wait for this paper signed. And she said, no, I'm sorry, everything is closed for this year. I'm not going to take you as a sponsor. And she hung up. I was destroyed. I was like, all my dream, all my thing, like boom, because without sponsor in United States, you cannot work and you cannot do anything.
Delphine went back to her list and started again, calling, emailing, calling again. Her English was not good enough yet to fully explain herself. She kept going anyway.
So what I did, I called back all the agency I went to see. So that's why I say never give up, because after this announce, I was destroyed for a little bit. And then you come back and you're like, Delphine, listen, you did all this thing. You left everything behind. There is something for you, for sure. You just have to find it. And I was like, okay, but what it is, just keep going. So I took my list of other agencies, said, no. I email, call back, email, call back. And my English was not good at this time, so for me it was also a challenge. But I kept going, and then once say, okay, I can sponsor you, but I'm not sure I'm going to give you work because your profile is not really the profile of the agency. But he said, because your profile is different, maybe we can get different clients. So it will be maybe an opportunity for us too. So that's why he said, yes, only one. In this all full list, only one. I start to breathe again.
Delphine had the visa. She had a room in a shared apartment, not fancy, as she says, but a start. She had her savings, and she watched them go down. Every night after castings, she went to school to learn English. She was asked to lose weight. She did. And then, when she was close to giving up, her English teacher, a woman named Angel, handed her a list of agencies that might actually fit her profile and walk her there herself.
Believe it or not, when I was at school, I told my teacher, her name was Angel, I told her, I think I need to go back to France because I don't get any job from this agency. And she was saying, like, which agency you are? And I was like, she asked me this question. I was like, oh, do you know some? She said, yeah. And she was an actor on the side. I was like, well, yeah, I'm with this agency. She said, oh, but you don't fit. You know, you're not like really. I said, yeah, I know. I know, I heard that so much. I'm not like this, I know. And then she was like, you need to go to this agency and this agency. And she gave me a list of the agency will fit my profile. I was like, wow, but my English was not so great. So she said, I'm going to meet you tomorrow and I'm going to bring you to this agency. She's my agency also. This is something that sometimes you don't know, and it's happening. Her name is Angel, and then I told her I need to go back to France to make some money because now my saving going down. And she was like, I'm going to help you. She helped me, yeah. She helped me a lot.
The green card came 6 months after she applied. Her lawyer said she had never seen a file move that fast. Delphine was on a job when the call came.
So when modeling did happen, I got my visa, then I got a green card. Because with this special visa, you're able to apply for the green card 2 months later. So my lawyer called me, she said, look, I just advise you to get your green card as soon as possible. Like this, you don't have to be only with one sponsor. Because the sponsor doesn't want to give you any job, you have no job. It's not like in France where you can work for different companies. So I invest a lot, again, for my green card without to know again if I'm going to get it, because one of my friends didn't get it. And I did it. I took the risk again. I say, okay, if she advised me, just listen the sign, it's for something. So I just applied and I will see if I get it or no. It's a sign. I got it. I got this green card. I was so proud of myself. And when she called me, she said, Delphine, there is something extraordinary about your file. I never saw an answer as fast for my green card. I got accepted 6 months later. She never had that. And I remember I went to a job, and when she called me, she said, you got it. I was like, no way. I did cry so much again. I was like, oh, everything is so emotional because it's step by step. Your visa, when your sponsor just left you and you don't know where you're going, you left your life, you left your partner, you left everything for you don't know. You never know in life. You never know. It's what I learned with all this process. It's like, just go and you will see. If it's not happening, because you have another direction that's waiting for you. And this is really what I learned with all these different experiences. Tough, really challenging, but really good. It's a good lesson for me, and I grew from that.
By now, Delphine had a green card, her footing, and a growing frustration with her own eyebrows. In France, nobody was talking about microblading yet. In Florida, she found it, and she did what she always does when she finds something worth doing. She went as deep as it was possible to go.
Like I mentioned, you know everything wrong with you, right? And what I knew is like when you go to the studio or like, show when you don't have any makeup, people were like telling you, a lot of time, you look tired or you look sick. You okay? Yeah, I'm good, and I will go to sleep at 9 p.m. So yes, I'm really good actually. And it's just because I didn't have eyebrow. So when I came in America, I tried to find different type of makeup. It was always too heavy, never natural enough. And then I found this technique. So I still model at this time. I just need to find a way to have some eyebrow. And then I found this technique. Microblading was really interesting because in France, nobody talked about that. It was not there. But at this time, it started to be a little bit more present in France. In Florida, I was like, oh, interesting. And then I learned about this process. It was scary because it's a needle and you have to go through the skin and then you can bleed, and I'm not really good things with blood, right? And but I learned about it and I was like, oh, interesting. I decided to do a training about it before to do myself, to learn more about the technique. I'm really skeptical about doing anything on my face. I didn't want to try anything. And then I learned it was only 3 days of training. And then guess what? I did on 2 people with a needle And when you do this process, you cannot have coffee, alcohol, or aspirin 24 hours before. The first person I did, she had some coffee and aspirin, but I didn't know. I didn't know. You have to fill out a form. I didn't know. It was my first. So I started to like cut the skin. I know. All the blood came out. Yeah. And I was like, start to feel really like dizzy. And I was like, I don't know if I can, I think it's not for me. I went to the bathroom. It was a really expensive training. I went to the bathroom, Delphine, breathe, some water on my face. And I was like, go back. So I went back, but it was like same thing, bleeding. You put some numbing on, bleeding. And at night when I went back home, you have to go back the next day for another model, so you have to do it again. And I was like I don't think so, it's for me. I told my friends, I don't think so, I can do it. I tell myself, Delphine, you pay this money, just go to the end. I don't like giving up. So I told myself the next day, Delphine's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. Just, keep going. I went back, I prayed, she didn't drink coffee. And then I start great. And I felt, because I think the day before, I was so much shocked with the blood and everything that I was expect the worst, I was like, Delphine. And I did great. I did really amazing job. And I was like, oh, it's not that bad. It's pretty, And I kept like, oh, Delphine, you did it. So I was proud of myself. But in 3 days, you're not ready. And in America, they can sue you for nothing. So if you do something wrong, it can cost you a lot of money. I didn't have the money to pay this lawsuit. So I was like, okay, Delphine, I didn't start right away. I asked if some friends want me to do it. Guess what? Nobody wants to do it. Say, oh, no, I'm good. And I was like, okay, I need to do more training to feel more confident about myself. So I went to Maastricht, near Amsterdam, and I found this teacher one by one, not in group anymore, to make sure I can ask her a question and everything. He was great, but still not confident enough to start. You know what? I kept going. I did 24 training, 24 certificates from all over the world. I went to Ukraine a couple of weeks because I wanted to feel ready and confident and learn all this technique and the colors.
24 certificates. She went back to France for 10 days, rented an apartment, bought a table, recruited her siblings and their friends, convinced her mother to go first, her mother who said she would never let Delphine near her face with a needle, and then changed her mind the next morning. 40 people in 10 days. She was ready. She worked 9 months for free, and then she was handed a contract with a worldwide non-compete clause. Her partner read it and told her she absolutely could not sign it.
Same thing, naive, and you excited. You were about to sign, but she said, no, we need a witness for sign the contract. This is what it is. Good. So I decided this time I met my partner, Reed, who is still my partner today. He's amazing. And he's American. I show him the contract, but I didn't want him really to look like details. He said, are you kidding me? You're not going to sign that. And I was like, what do you mean? She gave you a non-compete worldwide and New York included. And I realized, I gave her my dream to open in New York. And I was devastated. I was like, why? Because I didn't really, why? And then, so I spoke to her. She said, and I cannot, you cannot come in a clinic if you don't sign the contract. You cannot start with my client and everything. I said, but why worldwide? But if one day you want to go back to France or New York, I was like, but what's matter? Your clients are not from there, so what's matter? And like I said, I think she was fearful that I'm taking, client or anything. But at some point I don't remember, I was crying. I was like, I really want to work with you, but I cannot sign that because otherwise, that's it, She understood it. I think also the situation for her was kind of tricky because she was getting more and more pregnant. So she gave me the chance. She removed, I had a non-compete for 2 years, but in Florida only, and she removed the worldwide and the Miami. But can you imagine if I did sign when I was ready to sign anything because I wanted this opportunity? So sometimes just takes one step back, you know. And when Reed saw the contract, he was like, no, you cannot sign. I know it's an opportunity for you. I know you work hard to get there, but you cannot. So 24 certificate, 9 months for free, and then now I have no contract. Okay, but she gave me the chance. So I went there and I worked for 1 year, 1 year and a half, yeah. But at some point, I did start to go to New York with some resume, not to open my own place yet, because again, I need to know the market. So I was knocking all the spa all around the area when I was. It was in Manhattan, and no, we are not interested. Again, all the door closed. No. Oh, we're gonna call you. Never call me. Oh, okay, maybe, yeah. And one place, it was a spa, a really good spa. She said, oh, maybe you can meet the manager. Yeah, it would be interesting to give you to rent you a room. Because renting a room means I don't have to do the rent, and because in America, when you sign the lease, you have to commit. And when you sign for an office, it's a couple years. It's scary. So it was 2020 when I did start with this spa, who gave me the opportunity. I did a few models to prove them that I was good. The doctor was around me, and I was doing it. You say, oh yeah, she's doing a good job. So they gave me those opportunity. I did stay with them for a few months, but also you realize they don't give you client. You bring your own client through Instagram. You market yourself. Don't wait that someone give you everything on the plate. It's not going to happen. And it's what I learned again with that. To grow my clientele, I go to start again to do knocking on some door. And I had a really nice place, Upper East Side, where was celebrity for hair. And he had a special room also for private client and everything. He said, yeah, we can rent your room. Yeah, why not? So 65% I had to give to him, yeah. So all these people asked me so much, but I did.
And then COVID arrived. New York shut down, the spa closed, the salon closed. And Delphine, with a vision board and a photograph of a Parisian apartment with high ceilings and wooden floors, walked the streets of Manhattan, asking every concierge she passed whether anyone in their building had a space that looked like her picture.
I had a vision board. I don't know if you know about vision board. I have all my vision for 5 years. And now it's this place from Paris, actually, with molding here, high ceiling, wood floor, and everything was on this apartment. It was a picture that I took on internet. It was on my vision board. And one day I decided, it was still COVID, I decided to take these pictures and walk on the street and ask all the concierge of the building if they have this type of place in their building. Yeah. And most of them say, you don't dream, it's Paris, you're not going to find that. Okay, 8 months with these pictures. From 61 to 78, from Lexington to Fifth Avenue, so it's a lot of block to walk. And no. One day, it was 2021, January. This woman was walking a dog, and I just, whatever, you ask anyone, she was, whatever. And then I said, do you know? And then she said, I think this building over there, but the management is awful, don't go there. Of course, I went there. I took the number, I called them, and I asked for an appointment. The next day, I went to see this place. High ceiling, wood floor, 3 window, fireplace. He didn't have the molding, he didn't have the chandelier and everything. And I said, this I can do it. I did a lot of restoration of house in France for 10 years. So I like to do this type of thing. And then, but the rent was double that I can offer. Yeah. But it was COVID, and the place was empty for more than a year because COVID had happened March 2020. And it's like, oh, let me get back to you. I'm going to ask the owner. And then guess what? They accept my offer. And it was again a scary part because I have to sign for 4 years. It means if I don't have enough clients to pay this rent, that it was really, really high, I have to keep paying for 4 years. If I cannot pay for 4 years, I just, like, you know, they say like, not a bankrupt, but...
you have to file for bankruptcy?
Yeah. I mean, it will be like terrible. So scared. So I signed the lease and I was crying again. And then I was praying, I said, please, 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 please. But you know, when you do this type of, when you take this type of engagement, commitment, you have this energy who boosts you and bring you where you have to go. So believe, and just believe so hard. The same day, I rent a truck. I went to New Jersey to buy all these molding things and everything. Then I'm good with that, but I need some help. My partner doesn't do that at all. I went to this outdoor place, and I asked them if they have someone who can do kind of everything. They give me the name, but it was really expensive. So I start to call different people on Facebook and everything. No, they're gonna rule the place. And then I had 2 months for the construction before open the place. And I start also in the same times to market on Instagram. It means teaser, you know, oh, I found this place, and no. So people start to follow me and say, oh, it's interesting. And don't forget, I had some people also that I saw in the spa, and this, that follow me before, but not a ton, not enough to pay the rent. And so then what did happen, I found this guy and I paid the full price. And I say, you know what, Delphine, you get what you pay. So it's a big investment, but do the right thing. If you pay this rent, then don't do something cheap. You have to open the eyes, open the light, just do it. So I hired this guy, and it was the best decision of my life. He helped me with everything, every single thing. Because in New York, everything is expensive. So every time you want to hire for something, it's like 2,000 here, 3,000 here, you know, it's really expensive. And he really helped me with everything. 2 months later, I did open. And guess what? In 1 month, all my expenses was paid. 1 month. Only 1 month. Believe hard, work hard, and market, and do the right thing.
3 months after opening, a woman came in for her eyebrows. She turned out to be a beauty editor. She filed the story to Vogue.
3 months after my opening, I got featured in Goop. The beauty editor came, I didn't know she was a beauty editor. She came for me to help her with her eyebrow. She has trichotillomania. She pulled her eyebrow for anxiety. And she explained me her story, and I was like, oh yeah, I can help you. So I did it. And at the end she said, are you interested about an article? And for a couple months, I was trying to get, because when I opened my place, I was like, oh, it's a good time to have a PR. 9,000, 10,000, and I couldn't afford it with the rent. I was like, I'm going to do myself. So I tried to reach out to beauty editor, but nobody really replied. And this angel, I'm going to say, came for eyebrow. And then at the end she said, are you interested about an article? I was like, I would love to. And she said, okay, she's a freelance, so she's not for one magazine. And she said, which article will be, you will like to be? I was like, my dream is Vogue, but at this time I will take anything, whatever. And she said, oh, okay, I will let you know. No news for a couple of weeks, like, oh, okay. But sometimes no expectation, just have appreciation for the moment, but no expectation. But I did have expectation. So I was deceived. I had a lot of deception too, but And then one day, one email, I got a big news for you. You got featured in Vogue. And I was like, kind of feature in Vogue for me didn't really talk to me. I was like, Vogue, cool. But when you see feature, sometimes just your name. And it was the full story about me, about my atelier, my opening during COVID, who I am, why I'm doing it, my technique, less is more, French girl bring eyebrow in New York. It was the big title. And then he was on all the phone, all the iPhone, everyone saw that. And after this article, I got celebrity, I got actor, I got model, I got journalists from all over. They came all for eyebrow, but also for interview. And boom, everything was just magic.
Celebrities, actors, journalists. Delphine Eyebrow Couture was on the map. But something was shifting in who was sitting in her chair and in what they needed from her.
A few things actually. My family, 3 members had cancer, and also had more and more requests about people who are going through chemo. So you realize, like, okay, beauty, it's like, it's one thing, but restore beauty, it's another thing. Restore confidence, restore self-love, it's also something so powerful. To make people pretty, you can use makeup, right? But when you go through chemo or through different alopecia and you don't have any hair, you feel like sick. So maybe it's also like when people were telling me like, I look sick or tired and everything, it's probably, a little bit retrograde, what I mean? But it's so powerful when someone comes to you and asks your help about bring them back, what they lost. Chemo is something really powerful. It's just so, it can destroy a life, It's sad. It's really sad. And but I came in this industry for that. So I do also areola, scar. Scar, can be physically, but it's also really emotionally when you receive people. I decide when I did open this place is to help people to feel good. But once you're going through this journey and you meet more and more people vulnerable, when they just need help about to feel themselves again, you see aesthetic different way, Don't complain. I mean, you can complain if you don't have a lot of hair or if you don't look this way or, your eyes are droopy and all these things. All these things doesn't matter when you see this type of people are like more and more vulnerable because the more they're going through chemo, the more they feel weak. So I went through different stage and I saw the restoration is so powerful. It's a niche again. Everything I go, it's a niche. It's a niche, but it's at the end of the day to help these people to, there is no one person leave my atelier without to hug me. Even if the first time that I meet them, they always like hug me and thanks me for what I did for them. And I know it changed, the way they look at themselves, and make them to heal and make them to go through this chemo process because it's a process.
And then she lost Susanna. The woman from the first episode of her documentary, Metastatic Cancer, 6 years of fighting, gone 2 months before we recorded this conversation.
I got emotional because we lost Susanna, the person from the first episode, So when you meet people and then they're telling you like you changed their life, it's kind of like, wow. And one thing that I do, I listen their story, we share, we cry, and they feel the connection with me. And this is something so powerful. When you're able to connect with the person, she let it go. And most of people doesn't have this opportunity to share with someone. Because with member of family, sometimes they don't know how to react, or even friends, they cannot, or they don't know. They don't know how to listen. What I learned from that is also someone just need a shoulder, someone needs just sometimes without any phone, just be present with the person, connect, be compassionate, don't be judgmental about, how she talk, how she react, or she doesn't feel well this day. And I recognize how powerful the connection is when I was telling my partner about all this experience, because I'm the only one who works at my atelier, so I'm the only witness. And when I was telling him at night, I was, and crying. I was like, oh my gosh. And he said, this is like amazing what you're doing. Most of people think it's just eyebrow or anything, but you bring them so much more. The world should know about that. And at the beginning, I was like, I don't know, I'm not sure how. And then he said, you should do like a show or a documentary or something. And then I did it again. It's a new thing. I'm not in this industry at all. And then I did again a casting about the production and again everything. It was less than 2 years, a new project, that the docu-series called Heal avec Delphine. And I found the right production after like couple casting. And then I did a casting with all these different persons in America. They were able to present themselves, record a video, who they are, what they're going through. And I select 6 people, and the 6 people came from all over US for 1 week. And everyone were crying for a week about experience, but emotional, everyone were like hugging each other, was like so powerful. We did the first episode, it was 33 minutes, and the format was 6 persons in 1 episode. And you realize after like showing to people, it was too commercial, too much about me, too much about the eyebrow. I decided to change the format. So I start again. It was auto-finance everything, so it was a big investment, but it's so worth it because I was so like, I know, it's gonna happen. You do mistake, but do it again. It's an investment again, but do it. It's gonna happen, just do it. So we did again a casting, and I met Susanna a few months before. She didn't have hair, she went through chemo. And I proposed her to be part of the project, and she loved it. She has metastatic cancer, so she never knew if she's gonna be there the next year. But for 6 years, she was, okay. ER and come back, but she's still there. So we did it. I'm so happy we did it.
The docu-series Heal avec Delphine was born from these encounters, from the stories Delphine brought home at night and told her partner, from his observation that the world should know about this, from her decision, once again, to start something entirely new in a field she knew nothing about.
So Susanna was the first episode, and she passed 2 months ago. Yeah, it's sad. It's really sad. The second episode was he's with Irene. It's an Asian woman. She's 35, and she has cancer when she was really young, and she wants to talk for her culture, because we cannot say. She was telling me during the video record, as an Asian woman, you cannot complain. You have to say everything is okay. Even with your family, you cannot tell when something's wrong. And she went through cancer kind of by herself. She lost her job, her partner left her, and she got the breast cancer. So all these different things, and I was there to help her, give her support, give her like a shoulder, give her something, and she was part of the second episode. I think to bring people to light, bring them something, also a part of the community. They can talk, they have a voice, and they don't have to be hidden anymore through like scarf, through wigs, they can be themselves. And through this docu-series that I'm doing, because I won't do like 8 episodes in 1 season, I wanted to like also tell all this story that it's so important for Susanna, Irene, or I met so much more people. It's cancer, but it could be anything. I did trichomania, I did alopecia, anxiety. People so, in America, I know it's coming here too, anxiety is going like so high. And I think when you have someone you can talk and understand and compassionate, it's something so powerful, because not everyone can sit on a sofa and listen to someone deeply. And this is a gift that I have, I think. I can connect, but I can also heal people emotionally, because listen, I can restore with my hand light touch. and I can, like I say, deep connection, I think is the most powerful healing. And I really believe this docu-series is gonna see the day. Now I need to find the right person aligned with my vision and aligned with who I am to keep going, because I'm gonna keep going. And that's why today I'm here in Cannes, so beautiful, and I know it's gonna happen in Cannes. You know, it's believe, just do it, be yourself, keep going, never give up, and meet the right people.
We recorded this conversation during the Cannes Film Festival. Delphine was here to find funding for Heal avec Delphine. Between meetings on the Croisette, she sat down with me. She also told me she already has the opening music chosen, Gilbert Montagnier's On va s'aimer, the song she listens to in the shower to bring her energy up. She wants her future audience to hear it and dance before the show begins.
So right now, in 5 years, my show will be in distribution on Netflix. I'm going to have a few seasons ready. I'm going to have a talk show where my guests will be like, the people I can hear. I want them to share like in person their experience with the public. I mean, I have already like all the vision of the show. So a talk show, my docu-series on Netflix, products line worldwide, like sell everywhere. 5 years, I hope I'm gonna be fast enough.
She has a product line launching, a full vision for the next 5 years, and a passport, French and American, earned during COVID in a ceremony she attended alone in a room with a flag and a photograph of herself.
So when I got my visa, I was so happy. It took me a while. My sponsor, like I said, left me, but I did it. And 2 months later, I applied for the green card. My lawyer advised me to apply because it's going to take some time. Believe it or not, I got it in 6 months. It's unbelievable. She said she couldn't believe how fast she got the agreement for the green card. And 5 years later, I got my passport. I didn't wait at all because you know what? Life's going fast and you never know what's going to happen. Politically, anything. So when you got the chance, when you got the opportunity, I knew at 5 years and 2 months I need to apply for the passport. I did it. It was during COVID again. So I did my ceremony without the singing and everything. You have a little flag. And it was beautiful, even if I was by myself. Normally you have some people who can see you, but I was by myself and I was with this picture with the flag and I was like, I did it. Oh my gosh, I did it. So Franco-American, but I'm French first and American after.
From a bus to Lille, 2 suitcases to Miami, a vision board to a Vogue feature, a needle to a docu-series at Cannes, Delphine came from nothing. Built something, gave it all up, and built something greater. Not once, twice. And she will tell you, she has no regrets. Every closed door taught her something. Every angel arrived exactly when needed. She told me she hopes people hear her story and think, she did it. Why not me? I think they will. Thank you for listening to Living the Dream, Women, Work and Relocation. A special thank you to Delphine for sharing her story with such openness and generosity. She showed us that when doors close, you knock harder, and that the right people have a way of appearing exactly when you need them. This is a bonus episode released while Season 2 Women Who Reinvented Their Careers on the French Riviera is still in production. It will be worth the wait. If this conversation moved you, please follow the podcast, leave a review, or share it with someone who might need to hear it today. You can find more about Delphine and all my guests at livingthedreampodcast.com, where you can also support the podcast. And as always, thank you to Claire Long for the music that carries each episode. I'm Cécile Liconnet. And this has been Living the Dream, Women, Work and Relocation. À bientôt! This episode is dedicated to everyone living with cancer and to everyone fighting alongside them, to Susanna and Irene and to all those Delphine met along the way. And to my dear friends, Alice and Jessica, this one is for you.